Interesting conversation today, boys and girls. Let's find out, has Wizards broken their promise on the reserve list? Are they reprinting reserve list cards? Let's find out together. It's coming up next. Hey guys, welcome back. MTG Moxman here. If you're new to my channel and you're somehow finding me out there in YouTube land, well hey, thanks a lot for checking out my content today. I do hope you enjoy it. Always remember to leave questions, comments, concerns in the section below, and I'll be sure to get back to you guys right away. So what do we have happening right now? Do we have Wizards breaking their promise? Are people cutting through the rules and Wizards is reprinting reserve list cards? No, not exactly. I've touched base on this topic before with the fact that Wizards will never ever reprint the reserve list because it would tap into that piece of the money that they could get for a very, very short term before people already had the cards they needed. They will always go around the reserve list, building up on cards that could possibly be affecting the market or in a positive, negative way. Now, during these buyouts of reserve list cards right now, we've had a massive, massive price increase across the board. Now, Wizards, of course, takes note of these things. They check off the boxes on cards they think have some validation in these future sets and formats, and they test the waters by reprinting cards. That's what we're going to talk about today. All right, so number one, let's see the card we're talking about today, and that is Library of Alexandria. Now, of course, this is from Arabian Nights, 1993, December of 1993, and when you look at this card, you realize, wow, pretty amazing. No negative effect, comes into play untapped. Taps to add a colorless mana to your mana pool. And if you have exactly 7 cards in hand, instead of tapping for mana, you can tap it to draw a card. Of course, it's a library. It gives you lots of information. Now, Arabian Nights was back in the day where they based the mythology on Earth because they were still finding their way and they didn't really have a lot of lore to go off of. So they said, hey, let's check this place out. Now, Arabian Nights later became the Plane of Rabia. But right now, at this time when it first came out, this card is epic. It is considered one of the power of 10, one of the greatest cards ever created in Magic. Most lands are some of the greatest creations Magic's ever done. Dual lands, fetch lands, they make a deck. If you don't have a good mana base, you can't do anything. Well, with Strixhaven coming out, Wizards has gone ahead and done something pretty crazy. They have printed the Biblioplex. Now, again, look at the similarities between these cards. Let me pop the R1 up so you can see them both side by side. My head's right in the middle. Now, the Biblioplex says, add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. Oh, just like Library of Alexandria. Neither one comes into play tapped. You notice both of them have a spire on top. Both have that kind of arching doorways. They have literally copied the style of the artwork to create this beautiful new piece. Now, it says here, 2 and tap. All right, well, the library is still greater because it taps on its own. But it says 2 and tap. Look at the top card of your library. If it's an instant or sorcery, you may reveal that card and put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it into your graveyard. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to put this in your graveyard. You can choose to put it in your graveyard. Welcome to dredge decks. Welcome to draw decks. And by the way, where the library says you have to have 7 cards, the Biblioplex says exactly 0 or 7. So you have no cards in hand. This card is letting you draw. That is crazy. It's actually, in some ways, superior other than the 2 mana you have to tap. In other ways, because it has the 2 mana to tap, it can be a negative depending on how your deck works. For me, the Biblioplex is going to be huge. It's going to be an EDH decks across the board. This thing is going to see multi-formatted play, and I recommend buying a playset immediately. They're a very good card, okay? Now, I'm telling you this because, and I was not planning a video for Monday. It's Easter Monday right now. I was not planning a video today, but I can't let my viewership not see the advantages of a card like this in format, especially in Commander, or even in a Vintage Legacy deck. This is going to be epic. It's amazing. Now, they mean it for the standard format, of course. But Wizards already knows this is the kind of power creep they want to get into. They don't have to reprint or rework the wheel by breaking the reserve list and making people angry. They can go around it. They can just go a circle around it, take a bypass, and create a card that is close. Now, because we have seen this card, because this card now exists, let me tell you something. Moxes are on the way. A better version of Time Walk. They've already done some. They are finding their way around. We are going to see Moxes that do the exact same thing, okay? Either it's going to be commander specific or it can only cast a card of that specific color. I called this out 3 months ago. When I saw this card, I said, I told you so. I knew this was coming. I'm 100% right. They have no reason to ever break the reserve list, and this is another nail in the coffin that the reserve list is staying exactly where it is. They can work around it, reprint this card as much as they want, finagle with it, make different versions, and still make money. Because that's what Wizards wants to do. They want to make money. They're not going to print the finest quality copies and break those rules. They are going to literally keep doing exactly what they're doing right now. I was kind of hyped on Strixhaven a bit. You guys know I followed it a little bit. I didn't really like the spoilers that much, but I kind of like the story a little bit. I can't help it. And I like the look of some of the cards now. When I saw this, it just told me, yep, this is good. Now, I myself went out and bought 8 copies of this card, and I paid $5 each Canadian. Now, if we look here, you will see right now, at $5 or $6 Canadian, it's a buy it now, compared to a library, which is $2,200 to $6,000. Buy yourself 4 copies for $20. I know you may not play Standard or Modern. This can still go to an EDH deck. You're not going to regret having this card. It is still going to be a useful card to have around. I bought myself 8 on the pre-release. There's almost none for sale online that I could find in Canada, but I went ahead and bought what I could, okay? I do recommend buying this card only for the reason I can look beyond and see what's going to happen with the card. And I'm telling you, if you watch me, you know me. I'm trusting my gut on this one. What's a $5 investment? Right? What's it worth? Especially after a 1% cashback card. Maybe a few e-bucks before they discontinue the program, which is what I had. I had like $25 in e-bucks, so I only paid like $8 for my 8 copies. But absolutely. And don't forget, they have already gone and done this before, haven't they? Take a look at that Jeweled Lotus there. $80 to $100 versus a Black Lotus, $14,000 to $40K. Look what they've done and see, okay? We've talked about this. There are many cheap substitutes, and these substitutes are going to keep coming. This is not the end. Okay? We got when Modern Horizons 2 came out and they did the Aeon, Walk of the Aeons, whatever that card was that's like a time twister. We got Time Spiral. We got other cards that copy these cards already. They're just refining it. But the fact they copied the artwork blew me away. I'm like, this is like similar artwork. I love it. I love the look of it. I like the name. Remember from Deadpool? That's right. You remember. Donde está Biblioteca or whatever, right? It was so funny. So I look at this and go, this is going to be fun. It's going to be a great card. I'm looking forward to getting my copies. Hopefully I'll open 1 or 2 on the channel. I just think people need to know that, yeah, they're going to copy it, but no, this is not a threat to the reserve list. They're just going to work around it. They're going to take a bypass. And for those of you who think the reserve list is getting reprinted, it's not. Ever. This is the way it's going to stay, so get used to it. Because this is just amazing. Okay? Now, by the way, the other thing is, Time Spiral packs are getting pretty hard to come by, guys. Most of my local places I've checked are selling out. I'll be keeping a close eye to see if they're reprinting this, or if they've got more in the warehouse. If it's coming, trust me, it'll come by Christmas, okay? They'll do like a small wave at Christmas or something. That's when I think this will come out, for those of you who are asking me that. And for all my new patrons, thank you so much for joining on board. It's pretty awesome to have it. We're only 7 away from my first 100 patrons. I'm looking forward to having it. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This was MTG Moxman. And remember, this card is a buy, okay? You may not be big on the set. This card is a buy. I myself have bought 8 copies. I don't care. I'm going to sit on them, use them in some decks. It's going to be a blast. Thanks a lot for tuning in. This is MTG Moxman. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Donde está el biblioteca? Hey guys, welcome back to my patrons who are amazing and awesome. Yes, I have not had a chance to change the back screen yet. Hopefully I'll get that done for you guys for Wednesday. Looking forward to it. Have a great one. Stay safe out there. Patrons rock. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Join in the fun. That's right. I couldn't find Time Spiral anywhere, no matter where I looked. I looked at store after store. I found these packs at Walmart. A couple packs at Walmart. That's all I could find. Hopefully people like it. We're going to have some fun with it. All right? That's the way it's going to be. Oh, so annoying. Couldn't find any. What was I thinking? You made this far into the video. You're at the very end. Another post-credit credit. Hold the line on your reserve list cards. This just proves it. Don't sell them. Hold the line on your reserve list cards. Buy a Soldevi Excavations. Treat yourself. Have a great one. Mox Amber's still going up, by the way. It's crazy. It's crazy.